Hey guys, um, it's been a while. It's been over a year since you guys last heard from me, and since the last actual video I posted. I know there's been streams of Resident Evil after that, but in terms of content exclusive to this channel, it's been over a year. So, I've decided I want to give you guys a little bit of a life update, because it's been a crazy year for me. Crazy year, and I guess I could technically call it almost 2 months. So I guess technically almost 14 months. It's been a while, almost 14 months for me. So as you guys know, because I've done things on it before, I believe. Back in February of 2025, my girlfriend at the time and I broke up. If you follow me on TikTok, you know I had her in a couple of TikToks in the background. I may or may not have done a couple of streams with her. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. She didn't like to be on camera when it came to, videos that were going out to like streaming or, YouTube, stuff like that. She didn't care about being in videos that were just going to stay on people's phones, be passed around to family, whatever. But when it came to things like going out on, being her face being seen on streams and stuff, she was a little iffy with that. So I tried not to do anything as much with her physically being on the camera. But her and I broke up. It was a somewhat peaceful breakup, I guess you could say. Like, we agreed that I told her that I feel it would be best if we stayed friends while she focuses on her mental health, because she was dealing with some really bad mental health issues. And she agreed at first and everything seemed fine, but over the last couple of months that we talked after we had broken up, her mental health kind of deteriorated more and more. She wasn't really getting better. And I understand, in most cases you're going to get better, you're going to get worse before you get better. But she just was not getting better. And yeah, I'll get to the rest of her in a couple of minutes. So fast forward, I posted that last video for you guys, which was the trying snacks from different countries. I posted that for you guys in July, on July 3rd of 2025. I was sitting at my grandparents' kitchen table. And then since that last video, life has been nuts. I met another girl. She has been a godsend for me throughout these last couple of months where my life has been absolute hell. My mental state has been absolutely fucking trashed. And I have needed a lot of support from people that I know I could trust, from people that I know love me, from people that I know have my back. And she's been one of those people, and she has been a fucking godsend. Baby, if you end up watching this, I love you, and thank you so fucking much for being with me through everything that I've gone through in these last year and something since you've known me, in these last couple months since we've been together. And thank you so much for putting up with all my bullshit and for being there and giving me advice when I need it and everything. I appreciate it endlessly, and without you, I don't know where the fuck I would be today. But moving on past that, I met her, and then we were talking for a couple of months. And excuse me. Things happened. I had not a massive friend group, but I had a decent sized friend group in that I had a group chat with on Twitter, and things happened. I was an asshole. I was an idiot, and I ended up doing a lot of self-reflection because of those things. happening, and I have changed my ways. I'm completely different. I hurt a lot of people that I did not want to hurt, that I did not mean to hurt in that span. My now girlfriend being one of them, because we were talking at that time, and I was an idiot and did stuff that hurt her, and I almost lost her, and I am grateful that she is one of those people that understands that people make mistakes and can change, and gave me another chance. But moving on to probably the biggest change in my life, moving on to December of 2025, a couple days after Christmas, I was at my grandparents' and for a football watch party. It was Eagles and Bills week, and I had an accident. I missed a step, and I ended up. I was sleepwalking. At least that's what I believe. I can't prove it because I don't remember any much of that night past a certain point. But the biggest explanation I can give is that I was sleepwalking. I tried to walk out into the garage. I missed a step. I woke up the next morning on the garage floor with my ankle backwards. I didn't know my ankle was backwards at first because I didn't feel any pain at all until I tried to stand up on it. And once I tried to stand up on it, then the pain hit me and I fell right back down. I looked down and I saw that my ankle was backwards. So I managed to crawl in the house that day, and crawl into the bathroom, hobble up onto a leg, get into the shower, and before I got into the shower, I called my parents and told them that my leg was backwards and that I couldn't walk. So initially, I was hoping it wasn't. It was just one of those fractured things where it would be healed in a couple of months and I'd be back on my feet. But we went to the hospital. We were there for maybe 6 hours, 7 hours in the waiting room. I finally get to the back. They take my x-rays and everything. And they tell me I've done some serious damage. I broke 5 total bones. 3 in my ankle and 2 in my leg. And all 5 of them were crucial bones to the stability and the overall ability for your leg to move. And pretty much every pivotal and, super needy bone in your legs, I broke. And the people at the original hospital didn't have their orthopedic surgeon there, and he would have made the trip to the place to do the surgery, but they sent him pictures of the x-rays, and he said he could not, because with how bad it was, he was not experienced enough. He was not confident enough with his personal experience and his personal skill set to even want to try to do the surgery, because if something had gone wrong, I would never walk again. And honestly, looking back at that specific moment, I am grateful that they didn't just try to do the surgery anyway, knowing that their skill set would not meet the skill set required to fix this kind of injury. I'm so grateful that they recognized that it was out of their comfort range and out of their personal skill sets, and instead of trying to say fuck it and go ahead with the surgery anyway, they transferred me to another hospital. I had surgery the next day, and I was in the hospital for a week. Came home, big ass wrapping on my leg, screws, pins, plates in my fucking leg and ankle holding me together. I couldn't walk for probably the first 4 months. I wasn't able to put any pressure on it at all. And then I finally got a walking boot. I finally got the staples taken out after a couple of months. I got put in a walking boot. I was told another 2 weeks, stay off the boot, stay off the leg, don't put pressure on it. You don't have to worry about bumping it as much now because you have the support from the boot, but don't try to walk on it. It can't. It's not stable for that yet. So those 2 weeks went by. I went back again for another or another X-ray and everything. I was able to finally put pressure on it. And since then, it's been lucky to be on the up and up. I'm hoping that by November, by late November, I will be able to be back to work and back to living a somewhat normal life and not feeling like a worthless fucking human to society because I can't do anything because I'm not cleared for work yet. But if we want to be technical with everything that I have going on with the injury, I'm lucky that I'm walking, from what the surgeon tells me, and from what everybody that is in the medical field that has seen the X-rays has told me. I'm real lucky that I'm walking again, and I'm real lucky that the surgeon that I had is really good at his job and is probably the best in my area with injuries like this. So, after I got the boot off, I was cleared to put a shoe back on. It took a little bit longer to get the boot off than I wanted to because the physical therapy place that I was at wasn't really working. They weren't really pushing me the way they were supposed to be to get me back to strength and back to walking without any devices or anything. And so they ended up discharging me because they said that with where I was at, I could not make any more progress, so there was no point in them keeping me. But the surgeon had said that he wanted me in therapy all the way through until I got my second surgery, which would be to take the big screw out of the front of my foot. So we were forced to put me into another therapy, which is directly linked into the network and directly in the same building as where our family doctor is. And that has been phenomenal. Those people, I know they'll probably never see this, and if there is a slim chance that they do, I want to thank everybody there because I have my main therapist, but when he hasn't been there, I've had pretty much every single other therapist that works at that place help me. And if not for them, I would not be where I'm at today with my recovery. I would be nowhere near talking about getting back to work yet. I would be nowhere near ready to even go back to work yet. I would be probably still in a walking boot and using a walker. And here I am, not even 4 months into being at this place. And I have already made more progress with them than I did in probably 3 months with the other people. So, if you guys happen to see this, thank you so much for being patient with me, for being welcoming to me, and for working with me as much as needed endlessly to get me back to a base where I can function as a human being again. Because without you guys, I don't know where I would be with my recovery. I don't know where I would be in terms of being ready to go back to work. I don't know where I would be in terms of being able to walk on my own ankling again without needing a device to help me, or without needing somebody to walk next to or behind me to prevent me from falling, as an extra precautionary reason in case I go to fall. I don't know where I would be without the people at my current physical therapy place. So thank you. Thank you so fucking much. All of you at that place. So yeah, like I said, hopefully by November we will be back to work. Hopefully by late November we'll be back to work. We'll be back to functioning as an adult human being and feeling like I'm doing something with my life and actually able to function for myself rather than having to feel like I'm functioning but somebody is doing the major part of the functioning for me because I'm unable to do a lot of stuff. Regarding that whole incident, the biggest people besides the surgeon, besides the people that actually did care about me, and besides the current physical therapy people that I go see, the biggest people that I want to thank are my parents. Without my mom and dad, I don't know where I would be. And I mean that not just from with this injury, but from with my life period. Because I was unable to find a job for several years before finding the job that I have now. And through all of it, they stuck by me. They supported me. They helped me. They did whatever they could to make sure that I lived a good life and that I survived and that I lived and that I enjoyed my childhood, my teen years, my early adulthood, until it became too much for them and they could not do that anymore financially, which led to me finally being able to get a fucking job because I was extensively searching, extensively putting in applications, extensively applying, and I finally had found a job that was willing to not only interview me but take me, and they did take me. They chose me over every other candidate, and I'm so grateful for that. But I'm more grateful for my parents, like I said, because regarding this injury, I don't know where I would be without them if they had not been here. Because they're the ones that came and got me. They're the ones that came and they're the ones that took me to the hospital. They're the ones that sat there with me for 7 hours in the waiting room. They're the ones that were by my side the whole way when we were waiting for my x-ray results to come back. They're the ones that were by my side the whole way when I went under anesthesia so they could reset my foot. They're the ones that were by my side the whole way going to the hospital to get the actual surgery. They're the ones that were by my bedside every single day for that week that I was in the hospital post-surgery, making sure I was okay, bathing me, feeding me, making sure I was getting taken care of, because unfortunately the hospital staff wasn't too good at that. But I won't out their business on a YouTube video because I'm not that guy. But staying on the topic of my parents, and going back to it, without them, I wouldn't have got the care I needed. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to function, because when we came home, I had to crawl on my hands and knees to get up the steps. I had to literally hoist myself up on my good leg without my bad leg touching the ground to get into bed. I had to use a knee scooter to get around my house. From my bed, which is now downstairs, to the bathroom, to use the bathroom, and then I had to hobble on one leg to actually sit on the toilet. I had to hobble on one leg to actually get into a shower chair to sit in the shower, to take a shower. And again, to get to those places, I had to use a knee scooter in order to move around the house because I couldn't put pressure on the leg. And when it came to washing, for the longest time, I wasn't allowed to actually get the wrapping on my leg wet. So when it came to getting cleaned, my mom had to wash me like I was a baby in a sink. And she had to wash me at the sink with a washcloth and a bar of soap. There was certain parts that I could do after a couple of weeks of getting used to the knee scooter and everything. But for the first couple of weeks, where I was still wobbly and everything on my good foot and everything, my mom was a godsend because she did everything. She cooked for me. She made sure I ate. She made sure I was using the bathroom. She made sure I was still getting cleaned. She made sure I was still having somewhat of a life, even if I wasn't able to physically get out of bed. And even now, with me still technically, even though I am now able to get up out of bed, even though I am now able to walk around the house, even though I am now able and at a standing with my recovery to where they feel comfortable leaving me alone by myself, she still does things for me. She still helps take care of me at points. Helps she still helps when I need it. And for both of my parents, I am eternally grateful. They brought me onto this world. They have been godsends my entire life, from when I was a kid all the way to my 20s. And even now, into my 20s, they have been complete godsends and have helped me so much in my 25, almost 26 years on this earth, and more now than ever in the last 8 months that I've had the worst trauma in my life, in terms of physical trauma and in terms of the most mentally draining thing that has ever happened to me. They have been there. So, sorry guys, I'm trying not to tear up. But that's pretty much the life update. It's been a lot of the same since the injury, honestly. It's been a lot of laying around, working through therapy, going to my doctors and surgeon appointments and everything. It's been crazy for the last 8 months trying to get through my recovery, but it's not quite 8 months, but it's almost there. We're like a week away, if not less. But it's been crazy for the last 8 months. And like I said, it's been a lot of the same because I haven't been able to function, really. I'm just now getting back to normally functioning as a human being. I'm able to get up, make my own food, and, get up and take my own showers without needing to sit in a chair and everything. So I'm finally starting to get back to being a normal human again. But even with that, I'm still not cleared to go to work yet. So it's been a lot of the same for the last 8 months. It's been a lot of laying around. It's been a lot of scrolling on my phone. It's been a lot of being on my computer. Been a lot of being on Xbox. Like, I'm a huge gamer at heart. Anybody that knows me personally and anybody that has followed me on any of my socials, that either my Twitch, my Instagram, or my Twitter, or my YouTube, knows that I'm a huge gamer. I'm a massive gamer. But these last 8 months, only being able to play Xbox instead of using it as a pastime has gotten boring. And I hate to say that because, like I said, I'm a huge gamer, but these last 8 months, only being able to play Xbox as the main thing that I do throughout the day has become very boring and has become very emotionally draining in terms of feeling like I can't fucking do anything else. But I'll end this with one final thank you message again. I'll go in order of the people. In terms of the people that I consider were the biggest contributors to me staying afloat during this really difficult time in my life, all the way down to the people that I still want to thank but don't really credit with helping me as much. I'll start with my parents. Without them, like I said, I don't know where I would be. I don't know if I would have even made it to the hospital without them, because they're the ones that came and got me. They're the ones that sat there with me. They're the ones that cleaned me. They're the ones that fed me. They're the ones that made sure I got to my therapy appointments, make sure I got to my doctors and surgeon appointments. They're the ones that made sure I made it in and out of the house fine without getting hurt. They're the ones that made sure there was no obstacles in my way for me to trip on or anything or bang the leg on. They're the ones that made sure that our new puppy, that's one of the things I forgot to mention. We got a new dog in that span. They're the ones that made sure he didn't get in the way and hurt me. They're number one on the list for a plethora of reasons. But if we're talking specifically what happened with my injury, they are number one on the list of people that I thank, because without them, I don't know where I would be. Not just mentally, not just emotionally, but physically. Um, Next on the list is again my beautiful girlfriend. I don't know if she's gonna watch this. She knows I have a YouTube, but I don't know if she is gonna actually watch this video. But baby, again, I know I said it earlier, but again, thank you so much for being who you are, for loving me, for being there for me when I need somebody and don't feel comfortable going to my parents. Thank you for just being here, for not and for giving me another chance, and for just being who you are and being here when I needed you the most. You have been the second biggest godsend in this very difficult time of my life with my injury and my recovery. You have been the biggest godsend besides my parents. So thank you so much. I love you, and I hope you know that I will forever be grateful for you being here and having my back. Not just with my injury, but with everything that you know I've gone through personally that I won't get into on here. The next people I'd like to thank, or the next person I would like to thank, is my surgeon. I won't give his name out. I won't give out where he works. I won't give out where his main office is or none of that, out of respect for him and out of respect for legal laws and not wanting to get arrested and all that. But thank you, sir, for working so diligently, not just with my surgery, but with speaking to me post-surgery, setting up appointments, being so willing to, help me with understanding next steps and everything through each step of the process, through each step of the recovery process, through each appointment that I've had. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I am so glad that you were the one to do my surgery, because without you, I don't know if I would be walking again. Or I don't know if I would even be in a place to where I could have a possibility of walking again. I'll word it that way. The next people and the final people that not the final people, but the next people that I will thank are the people at my current therapy place. Again, I've already thanked you guys, but thank you so much. If you happen to see this, again, I don't know if you will, but if any of you happen to see this, thank you so much for working with me. Thank you so much for being understanding and being so patient with me and being willing to help me every step of the way on my recovery since I came to you guys to help me get back to a normal functioning human spot. Because without you guys, I don't know where I would be. I don't know if I'd even be anywhere close to being able to walk without any sort of device protecting me and without using any sort of supportive device to help wean some of the weight off the leg. I don't know where I would be if not for you guys, so thank you so much. The next people that I want to thank are the people at my job that have kept in contact. Hasn't been many of you, and that's okay. I understand you all have busy lives. I understand I don't have all your phone numbers or don't have all you on Facebook. It is what it is. I don't blame any of you. I'm not mad at any of you. It's okay. I understand. We're adults. We have lives. I get it. And even if we had each other's phone numbers, I wouldn't expect you to reach out if you're busy. I get it. It's fine. But to the ones that did reach out, including my boss, thank you. You guys have been very helpful. To my boss, you've been very helpful in helping me retain my job and being very transparent with what I need to do to make sure I keep my job. And you've been very transparent with everything involving my job since the injury has happened. To all the people that reached out to me that can't control my job but have wanted to check in on me and wanted to make sure my recovery is going well, thank you. I appreciate you checking in. It means a lot. And you have shown me that I have some friends at work, which is something a lot of people cannot say. And finally, the last people that I want to thank are the couple people in my family They know who they are. They'll probably never see this, but they know who they are. That checked in on me as much as they physically could throughout my entire healing process. Checking in on me, making sure, asking if I needed anything, making sure I was okay, not just in an emotional state, but a mental state, asking me how my recovery was going overall. Thank all of you, because without you, again, you guys showed me, again, that I have people, which is something that a lot of people cannot say, and something that a lot of people that I personally know wish that they would have had in a moment, in a very traumatizing and very life-altering moment. So thank you. Anyway, guys, I've been rambling for 31 minutes, so I will shut up now. I will let you guys go. Thank you all for watching. I'm hoping to be back to a more normal base with uploading videos and with streaming very soon. And I will give you guys an exclusive update that nobody else knows regarding my streaming. When I get back to streaming, I will be streaming on Twitch and Kick simultaneously. I think that Kick has a lot more discoverability than Twitch, and unfortunately I'm not able to stream just directly to Kick by itself yet, so I have to do both Twitch and Kick at the same time, which is fine. So you guys will have 2 options to watch me on. 3 if I decide to go back to YouTube streaming too, which I may. But again, I will stop talking now. Thank you all for watching. Be on the lookout for upcoming streams. Be on the lookout for more videos as I try to get back into the groove of living a normal life. And yeah, drop a comment, drop your thoughts on everything you heard in the comments if you'd like. If you have any movie, show, game recommendations, anything like that you think I should try for the next couple of months as I'm coming to the end of my recovery here, leave them in the comments as well. I will get notifications about the comments. I will be checking the comments to make sure, see if anybody has commented anything. And I will be replying and reacting to those that I like and those that I see. Thank you again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces, y'all.